Hey, it is Workforce Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Thank you for joining us. And so I'm Anissa. I'm your Chief Workforce Officer for Center for Urban Excellence. And every Wednesday, we bring a phenomenal speaker to you to give you great information about career paths, educational opportunities, trainings, apprenticeships, whatever your heart desires, right? We're here to inform you, arm you with solid information. So tonight, I am super excited that we have Gernae Alexander with us. Okay, Gernae is an author, speaker, and network strategist. She teaches entrepreneurs and professionals how to leverage networking to win clients, collaborations, and opportunities. Her methods aren't about generic scripts and elevator pitches. She guides her audience in clearly articulating the value of their brand to help them be successful in their endeavors. Gernae has a bachelor's in psychology, a master's in business administration, and over 10 years of corporate experience in sales, service, communications, and learning and development. Gernae lives with her husband, daughter, and her fur children, a dog and a cat near Dallas, Texas. And so we are super excited that you are with us here, Gernae. Um, we're just so grateful that I think your time, it's the middle of like a snow, ice, cold storm in Texas, and you are making such good use of your cold weather time because I will be under a blanket watching Netflix, okay? Because his and hers is on, all right? Or hers and his, whichever. But thank you so much for your time. We are super excited that you are here with us. And so I'm going to pass the floor to you because we came here to talk to you. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Anissa. Thank you for your energy because it is cold over here. So, all that warm energy is warming me up. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. I am excited to introduce what I do for a living and hopefully answer some questions that you guys might have. And I really want everyone who's watching this to leave feeling inspired and empowered to do something that is authentic for them. So, without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. All right, give me a head nod if you can see that. Perfect. So again, my name is Gernae Alexander, and I am excited to do this presentation for this group in particular. Now, Anissa did give you my intro, but what she didn't tell you is that I'm from a little inner city urban town, okay, of Kansas City, Kansas, and that's not small to some people, but when you're from where I'm from, the Wyandotte County, then you know that growing up in an environment like that, it's really difficult to establish yourself as an adult, establish yourself as a successful individual. And so I want you to know that when she told me about this group in particular, I was super excited to come and speak to you all because y'all my people. So I hope that you find what I'm telling you and sharing with you today. I hope that it resonates with you, and I hope that it gives you the motivation, the drive you need to take the next step in creating the life that you love. So again, there I am. My name is Gernae, and I go by many titles. So that's pretty much the theme of today's presentation. And I've done that on purpose because I know that a lot of times we think we measure up to a title and that's what represents us. But you honestly have a million and one, and you're all of them. And so I don't want anyone watching this to feel like they have to live up to a certain title and they have to own that title for the rest of their life. You will continuously evolve, you will continuously grow and change. So you're going to see my titles change throughout this, and that's symbolic of you. So this is all the stuff that Anissa just said before, but just to repeat, wife, mother, and friend, Kansas City, the Kansas side. That's a very important distinction. If you know, you know. If you're from the Midwest, you know. Master in business, bachelor in psychology, and 10 years experience in sales operations, communications, and L&D. Here's Janae, the family woman. That is my husband and high school sweetheart, and our beautiful daughter, Robin Chanel. I know he has grays, y'all, but I promise we're the same age. We graduated high school in 2005, so millennials stand up. But there's my beautiful family, minus Croissant and Angel, who are our furry children. This is Gernae, the fun girl. I love to dance. I've been dancing since middle school. I have a YouTube channel called Strut into Fitness, and it's where it celebrates majorette dancing. So if you like that, go ahead and check it out. I have an identical twin sister, and I'm an international pageant queen winner. I was not always into pageants. Don't even go there, y'all. It's not like that. I just started in 2023. My really good friend encouraged me to try an adult competition and it changed me. It changed the game, y'all, but it was a life altering experience that really did so much for me spiritually, emotionally, confident wise. So if you ever want to chop it up, send me a message and we can get into it. Gernae, the author, I am also a writer, and this is actually my biggest passion of everything that I do is writing. I write to reflect, I write to heal, I write to share, I write to educate, and this is my flagship book for my networking strategy business. It's called Do the Network, Your Step-by-Step Guide to Leveraging Networking for Success. It's one of the oldest skills that you will ever hear of, but it never fails. Networking is accessible to everyone, and that's why I love it. You don't need software, you don't need education, you don't need certification. You just need courage and clarity to make networking work for you. And so this is what this networking book is for, is to give you that courage and clarity. So when you put yourself out there, people understand what you're about the first time you say it, and then they are compelled to take action with you because it doesn't matter if you can speak well about yourself if you can't get people bought into what you are selling and what you represent. So that's what this book is all about. Gernae, the speaker. I love speaking, y'all. If you can't tell, I love to speak. I was actually in an organization that helps you develop as a public speaker, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But I speak on stages for entrepreneurs, for professionals, for young people, for anyone who has a passion for making connections and building genuine relationships. That is my platform. Um, and, we can get on a physical stage. We can get on a podcast stage. We can do this digital space. Like any place can be a stage, but speaking is also another passion of mine. I don't just speak about being a networking strategist, but I speak about real stories of motherhood, real stories of marriage, real stories of overcoming, whatever it is the topic is for empowerment, I'm definitely on board. So if you want to explore more of those options, I'm definitely your woman. Gernae, the strategist. So I work with people to help them get their names out there, get visible, get their presence up in their communities. This is really important in a day like today because everything is online. And I'm not saying that you should walk away from online because I believe it's an asset as well, but it's a whole nother vibe when you meet someone in person. And you want to make sure that you're showing up correct, whether this be an interview or someone is just giving you an introduction, because that introduction can make or break your next opportunity. And you never know where that opportunity is going to come from. So when I help clients, I make sure that they are able to clearly articulate the value of their brand. They're able to walk in a room, say who they help, how they help them, the results, and they can say it with confidence and they can elaborate when it's time. So we work on timing because sometimes people try to sell too early and you're like, whoa, whoa, I just asked you like how your day was and you trying to like sign me up, like calm down. So we make sure that you know etiquette, okay? We make sure that you understand how to nurture your relationships after the introduction. A lot of people fail to follow up. And then when they do follow up, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say to continue the conversation or make it valuable for the other person. So the number one thing I teach as a strategist is being of value to your network. A lot of people want to build community and they want to be able to connect with people who can do things for them, but they forget that it is their responsibility to be valuable to their network as well. Be someone who is worth being connected to. If you want people to advocate for you, if you want people to hire you, and refer people to you, then you have to show them that you're someone who is for their success as well, as much as you want them to be for your success. And I'm working on two screens, y'all, so just give me a moment to go through my little notes here. Here we go. Okay, so that's Gernae the strategist. So what is it that I actually do? I help entrepreneurs and professionals win clients, contracts, and opportunities through strategic networking. That means that I teach you how to network so that you can make some money. Or so that you can get a collaboration opportunity, or so that you can, whatever your dream is, it can be connected to networking. And usually it's who you know. You've heard that saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And you know this for a fact because you'll see people out and about, successful big names, and you're like, how? How did they get that gig? Or I can do that a million times better than them. And that's probably true. But that person knew someone who bought into them. And so it's not always about talent. And I want you to get out of your head about that. It's not always about your degree of talent or your education, because all of that stuff really doesn't add up to much depending on who you're speaking with. But if they meet you and they believe in you because you are believing in yourself and you're clear, again, it goes back to clarity. You are clear on the value that you bring to the table, they might give you that shot a lot more than they just read your stuff on social media and they're like, oh, well, her LinkedIn profile is nice, but there's a million nice LinkedIn profiles. What makes this person different? And so I teach people how to stand out authentically in their true nature and to express that value clearly. How did I get into consulting? I kept getting laid off. Okay. I got laid off multiple times from companies because they had organizational restructures. If you ever heard that term, all that means is they decided they needed to cut some stuff out of the budget to make sure that the business survives. And I got cut. I got cut several times, and it was devastating, especially the first time. Being laid off from a company that you give so much time, so much energy, so much effort, and your job becomes a part of your identity, it can really rock you. It can really shake your confidence. And you have to be careful and remember that they are a business first and foremost. First and foremost, they are there to look out for their survival, not your survival. So if they got to cut you, they will and are and will in the future. It's just a part of the corporate culture. So I don't want to say this to scare anyone, but it's just the reality. It's just the reality, which is what inspired me to get into consulting because I was just like, you know what? I really need something that no one could take away. I need something that I can build my own stability and work with my strengths in a way that I'm in control. Now, I'm not saying that you need to quit your job. I'm not saying you need to quit the corporate culture because it's great. It funds the dream. Having a 9 to 5 funds whatever it is you want to do. So don't take this message as, oh, you just need to quit and be an entrepreneur. No. If you want to be an entrepreneur, start with working because you can learn a lot from your job. On the job training helps you in your business. So don't just jump ship or think, oh, I'm just, mm-mm. But this is how I got started is I kept getting laid off and I was just like, I need to do something different. So I got clear on my brand, who I wanted to help, how I can help them be successful, the method, and then what they could accomplish with what I do. Because my skills are all people related. I rely mostly on transferable skills. Transferable skills are those skills that you can use from job to job, usually soft. There are some hard skills that are transferable as well, and that's what people usually focus on. They say, "I'm great with Excel. I'm great with AI, especially now, recently, or I can do Sigma 6. I have a gold belt or black belt in Sigma 6 or whatever it is." But then there are soft skills that everyone needs, but they don't really train you on. But that's what leadership has. All the people who are in manager roles or the big wigs, they are usually very strong in soft skills like empathy, like conflict management, like strategic organization strategy. I can name a bunch of things, but the soft people skills, that's where my biggest strengths are. And so that's what I rely on with my business is because people are always going to be the client. Machines help us, they help us be successful, but the person who pays you is always a person. So you really need to understand human psychology, human behavior, what makes people tick, what makes them say no, what makes them say, tell me more. That's all very important. And that's what I rely on to do well in my job. So, and I'm also saying this because I know I have a couple of degrees, but college education isn't everything. There are some people on this call who can read people up and down, backwards and forward, and who never went to college. And it's not about what's in the book academically. Your wisdom comes from many places. So I don't want you to sell yourself short if you don't have a degree or if you don't have a certification. And then I want to reiterate what I was saying earlier about changing titles. This is important because you're going to change your career. Like I said, I kept getting laid off, so I kept going into a few different industries here and there. Most people change their career 5 to 7 times throughout their working history. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, I failed at sales or I was in operations, but it just didn't work out. No, it worked out fine. Now you have more experience, and that's adding to the greatness that is you. I don't want you to put the expectation of if I don't ride this out for the rest of my career, then I failed or I didn't build it well enough or high enough. That's not true. It's to be expected. It's to be expected that you are going to change careers. And as you change, you will need to change careers as well. So don't feel like you have to just ride in one lane or you're a failure. So I just want to clarify that. Gernae the Overcomer. There are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of challenges to be an entrepreneur. And visibility is one of them, which is why I went into networking because online visibility is a crazy algorithmic zoo. Okay. The algorithm changes every 3 months. It's designed to help the platform. It's not designed to help you. And then you have all the outliers. You have all these people who have figured it out and they become popular and you start to take things on personally. Like, why is it me? Is it me? People don't like me. And that's not true. But finding your rhythm and creating content strategically, posting consistently, standing out among the noise, those are consistent challenges that I have to overcome regularly. So one way that I do that is through networking. The reason that I'm on this call right now is because of my network. And I don't mean that I had to reach out and ask for this opportunity, though I do outreach. That is a part of what I do. However, in this opportunity and many opportunities that I've had, people will reach out. Gernae, I know you do this. Will you come speak? Will you come teach? Will you come do this workshop? That happens to me literally all the time. And you can speak with Anissa. I'm not lying about that. She literally approached me and said, Gernae, we have this. We would love to have you. And of course, I said yes because it's Anissa. But what I'm telling you is that networking works. It creates opportunities, it opens doors that you really don't have to work hard for as long as you nurture your network. So that is one way that I overcome my challenges is by practicing what I preach. Imposter syndrome is another challenge that a lot of people face, and I faced as well. Just feeling like you're unqualified, feeling like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here because I don't have this degree, I don't have this certification, I don't have this award. A lot of people like to say, I have A, B, and C award. I've done A, B, and C. Well, you may not have done it all, and you may not have earned it all, but what you have to bring, what you have to offer is enough right now. Whatever you have to bring to the table right now is enough right now. And you will continue to gather experiences and education as time goes on. So overcoming imposter syndrome is all about embracing the mindset or the paradigm that, you know what, I'm not an imposter, I'm a beginner. Anytime you feel like an imposter, it just means that you have leveled up. You're now in a new room full of people who are at another level that you've never been at. But ding ding ding, you've just ate the mushroom and you've leveled up and you're like, wow, I've never been this big before, but I'm gonna figure out how to navigate this world. I'm talking about Mario, if anybody knows this is a Super Mario reference. But that's what happens. Whenever you level up, you do feel like an imposter. You do feel like you're not supposed to be in that room, but you absolutely are. You absolutely are. So just take that within yourself whenever you feel like, oh man, I'm not sure about this. That just means I'm new here, but I won't be new forever. One day the new will be old and you'll be so comfortable and it'll be time to level up again. And if you're not feeling like an imposter, then it might mean that it's time to stretch yourself further to get to the next level. So just aligning your actions also with someone who is qualified. Me, I knew that I wanted to be an author, so I started writing a book. I knew I wanted to be a speaker. I started seeking opportunities. I didn't know where they were going to come from, but I started telling people, hey, I want to speak. I want to speak on this, just getting the word out there. I said, okay, I'm a thought leader when it comes to networking, or I'm a thought leader when it comes to protecting your marriage while building the dream. That's another brand that I have with my husband. And it's like, I have to cultivate my philosophy so that I can share it properly with other people so they know I'm available, so they know this is what I do. And so it's not all about achievement, It's really about alignment to help you overcome that imposter syndrome or overcome some of those barriers that do exist. I'm not going to say that barriers don't exist because they absolutely do. But sometimes it's just about being in alignment and just keep practicing, keep putting yourself out there because when the opportunity shows up, you want to be ready. Creativity is definitely a must. I use it in my business all the time, especially when I'm delivering workshops. I needed to keep my audience engaged. I needed to build the like, know, trust factor and make myself memorable. The like, know, trust factor is people do work with people they like, know, and trust. So if they like you, they will listen to you a little bit, at least for a little bit longer. If they know you, that just means they are familiar with your content. They are more likely to sign up. Usually, you have to touch someone 7 times before they will do business with you. So, knowing is just familiarity. It just means, oh, this person keeps popping up on my timeline. I keep seeing her face. So, the next time I hear her name or I hear a presentation, I'm like, yeah, I know who Gernae is. Let me see what she's talking about. Or if my friend says, have you heard Gernae something, something? You can say, yeah. Are you going to her thing? Yeah, I am. You want to go? Yeah, I might go. Okay, okay, okay. And that's just because they're familiar with me. And then trust is everything, is another people skill. Trust is another soft skill that we all need to know how to nurture and build because in the land of technology, we rely on AI to build trust and it doesn't work. They trust the algorithm, they trust the bots, the agents, but those things are cold and they cannot relate. So you are that factor, and you're irreplaceable in that way. Problem solving is huge. Problems are normal and to be expected. Okay, you cannot avoid most problems. You have to go through them. You have to experience them so you can learn from them, and then you can prevent them. But problems come, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's not a reflection of your competence. It's not a reflection usually of you at all. It just means here's the problem, solve it. Solve it so it's no longer a problem because the next problem is right in line. It's waiting for you. There's always going to be a problem. So don't feel like because you have problems that something is wrong. That is very normal. That is very healthy, okay, for entrepreneurs or career women or men. Doesn't matter. You have to learn to embrace them as they come. Be resourceful with your time, money, connections, energy, and be resilient on working on them until they are resolved. So the question was, other than money, what's the benefits of doing what you do? Well, I have a lot of benefits of doing what I do. I'm in complete control of my time. I work when I want to, I rest when I need to, and I'm able to show up for my family regardless of what's going on. My daughter's birthday is Saturday. I got several offers to speak on that day. I said, no, it is my daughter's birthday. I will not be working, but thank you so much for the opportunity. Maybe we could do something else. I was able to protect that time that's important to me and my family's development because I'm in control of my time. I meet lots of interesting people. I attend events that I've never experienced before, and I'm developing as a person. I'm becoming more confident, savvy, and resourceful by the day. And where I would never say that I'm fearless, but I do fear less as time goes on, and so will you. So, what advice would I give to someone who's interested in pursuing a career like mine? There's so much advice, and I'm just going to leave this screen up so y'all can take a screenshot. First, I would say make sure you give yourself time to get good before you make a major pivot, at least 2 years. I know that seems like a lot of time, but it's going to go on anyway. How long did it take for you to get good at your job? And then how long did it take for you to be able to do your job like nothing? It took a minute. You couldn't do it in a month or in 3 months or even a year for most people. And we see all these overnight successes, that stuff is not real for a majority of the population. So give yourself time to get good. Focus on building your audience first before you start investing too much money into your systems and independent contractors. Because if you don't understand the process, you can't pay someone else to do the process for you. Give yourself grace and take care of yourself. Take your self-care very seriously because hustling is the fastest way to burn out and the grind is overrated. Okay, it's overrated. Rest is productive and necessary for success. Embrace the rest. Rest is part of progress. Okay, if you don't rest, you won't restore yourself. You won't be functioning at your highest peak performance. Take a nap. Take a day off. Schedule your breaks daily. This is very important to stay sane in this insane world, okay? And then remember that your friends and family are not your clients and your clients are not your friends. I'm going to say that again. Your friends and family are not your clients, and your clients are not your friends. And that is okay. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't put pressure on them. Let it go. Your people are out there. You will find them. Just stay patient, stay consistent. It will happen. That's why I say don't quit your day job, okay? Don't quit your day job, all right? So that's all I have for you guys today. If you would like to connect with me, this is my information here on LinkedIn and Facebook. You can look at Gernae Alexander, or you can look for Network with Nay, and I should be the only person to pop up. I hope that you found this presentation valuable. I do have other talks, obviously, where I can teach you some strategic networking skills, but I really hope that you walked away from this feeling inspired, empowered, and energized because you can do it. You could do whatever you set your mind to. And in today's crazy times, you need to know that you do have power. Okay. You do have power. You can leverage it for your own success, for your family's success. And you're going to find your way. Don't compare your journey to anyone else. Your journey is yours and it's beautiful. So that's all I have for today. Anissa, if you want to come back in.
Gernae. Okay, you dropped all the gems tonight. I couldn't even keep up. I was just trying to put them in the chat. I'm like, I just need the whole slideshow. Give yourself time to get good. Rest is progress. Stretch yourself. Not fearless, but fearless. What? Okay. A 9 to 5 funds the dream. Okay. And it does. Don't despise your 9 to 5 or 4 to 3 or 10 to 6 or whatever you work. Okay. It's going to fund the dream. Gernae, you have been so dope. Does anybody have any questions or comments? As you can see, Gernae holds many titles: international pageant queen, mom, wife, entrepreneur, network strategist, just so many different things. Dancer, okay, because she was showing up trying to teach me some moves. I don't have 2 left feet, but I could get a little 1, 2, a little boom cat every once in a while, but just so many different things. And so if anybody has any questions, you can drop them in the chat. Feel free to come off mute. Um, Please connect with her. As she said, she's available. Anybody, anything. Listen, man, I've known Gernae since college, and just the growth and the development is wild. This is my first time watching her present and experiencing. It was a gift. So I appreciate you. I so appreciate you. I was like, this is not the same person. Okay. I mean, it is the same person, but the growth is real. So
Thank
I have to get
you.
some tips and tricks about a few things when we hang up. Okay. Your network is your net worth. Okay. And so I'm just so grateful. Any last moments? Any last gems you want to drop for the people before we get off?
Oh man. It's my husband's birthday and we're getting ready to
Happy
go take him out for
birthday!
dinner. Chapter 39.
Chapter
So I
39.
don't have a lot because I know gonna want to go and get those tequila wrappers for
Mm-hmm,
his
mm-hmm,
appetizer.
mm-hmm.
But what I will say is that I am available. So if anyone has any questions, do not hesitate to send me a message. If you know a group or organization who might benefit from someone like me speaking to them, whether they be young people, professionals, it doesn't matter. Please reach out to me and we can talk about what's possible. But thank you so much, Anissa, for inviting me. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I truly do appreciate it.
And we appreciate you, Janae. Happy birthday, Danielle. Enjoy your taquito wrappers or tequila wrappers or whatever you call them. Enjoy. Stay warm out there in Texas. Thank you so much for joining us. If all hearts and minds are clear, this is the end of Workforce Wednesday. Join us next week. We got another dope guest. And so super excited to have you. Join us next week too if you'd like to, Janae. Come on back. But everyone, have a good night. Spend some time with your family. Rest up for tomorrow. That is the end of Workforce Wednesday. Have a good night. Uh huh. Journey, fire.